Ciare, an Italian brand that has really gone completely under the radar in South Africa for quite some time. It really is one of those products that offer exceptionally good value for money, and I don't really know why people are not buying more of the product. So I figured we'd take the opportunity quickly to just cover who Ciare is. They're, like I said, an Italian brand, and they really have a little bit of something for everyone, whether you are into hi-fi, if you are into car audio, as well as PA. They've got some incredible drivers across their range. I'm not just saying that because we're doing a video. I really have no brand loyalty in that regard, but they really do have some great products. And today we're going to be covering one of the PWA series, being the PWA12, which really is a nice drop-in solution for just about any product or situation that you might find yourself in. And so let's jump into it. The PWA12.64 is a 300 watt 600 watt program, 97.8 dB, so really respectable linear response overall, as you can see on the response graph. And of course, you know, the sensitivity is really good. Most drivers that are, you know, about 1,000 to 1,500 cheaper than this, with the exception of some of the Red Cat products, generally speaking, don't reach 95 dB sensitivity in any regard. And for you guys doing PA, this can become a big thing, because you know you're going to spend 2,000 Rand on a speaker. You're going to expect it to be loud, even though it has like 600 watts or 800 watts rated power. And you find that, you know, if you buy something like a Paraflex, it's just not loud enough. This is a huge problem, and one of that really draws down to the sensitivity. Most of the cheaper speakers that are coming out of China and from various brands, they have a sensitivity which unfortunately is as low as 90 to 91 dBs. So, you know, we've got a whole 5 to 6 dBs more loudness per watt. So these guys are really well optimized, and they have good sensitivity, good power handling as a balance. Frequency range 50 to 3000 hertz, which is pretty good considering that it's a little 12, which is well rounded. Most speakers, again, especially as you start to roll up between 12 to 15s, they don't really have much high frequency, and invariably the cheaper speakers have less high frequency and less bass performance than what we would hope. So slightly smaller voice coil, a 2.5 inch voice coil. Again, some people might believe that a 3 inch voice coil is going to be better than a 2.5 inch voice coil. Well, it's not really the case, and we can start to see this within some of our motor or our TS parameters as a whole. Right off the bat, you can see we've got a relatively low QES as well as a relatively low QTS. What this basically means is that if we were to work out things like our EBP and just look at those parameters as a whole, this little guy, you could use it as a really small little micro sub if you wanted to, as well as a bass reflex as a top or a full range cabinet. It's flexible. You can actually do things with it. Most products that are on the market, that are on the cheaper side, you know, their Qs are so high, it shouldn't even be allowed. Like if we had standards for PA, I think 90% of the products that are in the market would not be able to trade. So, you know, maybe one day we should try and enforce some standards, but very capable driver nonetheless. Right, if we have a look at things like XMAX, we have a rated XMAX of 4.5 millimeters and XVAR of 6 millimeters, which is kind of cool because the rated excursion of 4.5 versus XVAR. XVAR is showing that we have 6 mils with the cone displacement before we hit that level of about 70% of our BL rated to XMAX, in which case it's giving a good indicator that we have more cone motor force available at our 4.5 millimeters width of XMAX, which is a really good sign of a quality speaker. So let's quickly jump into Winisd. I have loaded this up into the product. I have changed computers around, so I don't have too much on here, but I loaded this guy up quickly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump down to our super boom box, because if you have a look, recommended enclosure volume is as small as 1 cubic foot. So 1 cubic foot is absolutely tiny, guys. Very important to understand. So if you are into small little satellite speakers, you know, you don't want to carry big stuff around, we're going to try and shoot for that type of a tuning. So Winisd will come down roughly to that type of volume using the boombox, right? 12 PWA, just for our reference. So let's jump up here and let's make this a bit big. So let's go and hunt for our F6 right away. We can see that we are producing good solid bass below 60 hertz, roughly at about a -6 dB, you know, 56, 57 hertz. It could be higher, it could be lower in real life, which again, guys, it's pretty good low frequency extension considering that this is a 12-inch driver and is one of the entry-level products from Ciare. Really good value for money. With our box volume turning out to be a little bit bigger at 1.1 cubic foot, which is again, of course, the minimum. So you want more bass, you can get more bass, right? So on topic of this, let's go and add on a filter, because most people who are using 12s, especially as PA application, right? So you're a mobile DJ or you do sound higher. Most guys will put a high pass filter on along with these with a sub. Guys seem to average out about a third order for most of their stuff. One day I'd like to do a nice big masterclass on filters and trying to get the most out of your PA system so that you can get some stereo imaging, and it will roll off anywhere as low as 80 hertz. Some people go as high as 140 hertz, but 100 hertz I see is quite typical for most guys. All right, so we're going to do exactly the same thing over here. You can see we have removed some of this low frequency, and what we're going to do is we're going to put in the full 300 watts worth of power handling available to this driver. And again, this is going to reflect on a cone excursion. We should find that we're quite nice within our Xmax. Oh no, what did you notice? We are exceeding Xmax, but take a note that we are at 2.5 millimeters. This is purely because on entering the information into Winisd, we need to keep in mind that Winisd looks specifically at the height of the coil minus our gap height divided by 2, in which case we are rating out to 2.5 millimeters, but our Xmax value to this particular driver is actually 4.5 millimeters. Changing that up, you can see we are falling well below our 4.5 millimeters, and we are in fact taking our 300 watts. So just off the pipeline, we're going to have a look at our rough SPL here. Again, guys, this does not include any form of inductance modeling. We could do that, but really no need. We are reaching out to 121 dBs. Again, this might be a little bit louder, this might be a little bit less loud in real life, but again, good characteristics for an entry-level driver that is capable of going into various enclosure designs. What more could you ask for? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link in the description. Go out and go and have a look at Ciare's website. They've really come a long way since they went quiet. They've brought in some new products and refreshed their website, which is looking absolutely spliffy at this particular stage, and I can't actually wait to see what comes out of Ciare next. And hopefully we can find some more support within South Africa, and you guys can start to experience the quality that is behind another Italian brand which falls under the BNC banner. Ciare really offers a wide variety for a lot of folks, and of course, like I said, they make some of my favorite all-time subwoofers. So go on, check them out. Links will be in the description. Need any questions answered? Give me a shout.